Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in April, just getting the roller and our tractor cleaned up. I am trying to be better about getting things washed before we put them away. Not my favorite task in the world, but it is important to keep your equipment clean. So, what did we get done today already? We had a busy morning. So, I've got the grass field cut in preparation for making about half of it hay, and the other half we're going to turn into silage. We'll just bale up the grass. We got a boatload of planting and rolling done. So our big cornfield planted with corn and rolled, all ready to go, fully fertilized, doesn't need lime. We are basically at max yield bonus that we can get out of that field. Over here, we have our soybean field. That got planted again, fertilized, rolled, all ready to go. You saw our new field, the combined field that we did over here at the end of last episode. These are our little baby sunflowers, as you can see, all set and ready to go, rolled, prepped, and planted. And then lastly, all the way across the river, let's see, head over here, we have our small cornfield. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the bridge. Hold on, gotta head back. This is Walter's field, not ours yet. Will be someday. Over here we have our small cornfield, again, planted, rolled, fertilized, ready to go. Really happy with our manure working as fertilizer, so that has been a bonus. And then our grass field, the little one, you remember we cut this prematurely because we just didn't have any food for the animals. That has also been fertilized since I had the manure spreader out. I figured I'd throw some muck on the field and keep it moving in the right direction. So, big problems for today. As you can see, we are negative $31,106 in the hole. The good news is we have a quick and easy solution for that problem. We have a bunch of clothes to sell. So if you remember, over the last, let's say, 10 or so episodes, we started collecting our wool, we leased the spinnery, we leased the tailor shop, and we got 15,000 liters of clothes that we have stored in our main shed. And those are at their peak price and actually looking to be slightly above peak price as far as they're selling right now. So we're going to get one quick project done here on the farm, because I don't want to forget our cows in the dairy barn need some straw. They're not low, but if I let them get low, it does tend to become a bit of a mess. So let's get the roller put away. This is going to be tight getting it in there. But look how shiny and clean it is. Get it tucked back into the corner. Did realize, had a mistake overnight. Not sure exactly what happened, but our water distribution system here on the farm, the one that feeds our greenhouses and some of our productions, got turned off. Not sure how that happened, not sure why that happened, but we have a couple of greenhouses that are just very low on water. You guys will have to forgive me on some of the stuttering. I did come in and run through everything for the shader cache, but this is the first recording after patch 111, and so we're just going to have a little bit of stuttering to work through. We'll do third-person view to try to help with that a little bit. So let's go in here. Let's grab some bales. The Bale Pro, I always have to remember. Okay, so there's open. Alright, and then we have to turn it on. Okay, there we go. That seems to have done something. Okay, and we should be able to get one more off the top here. Perfect. And these are our corn stalk bales. Now, I haven't tried putting these in our TMR mixer. I feel like maybe we should give that a try, because we have, between corn stalk bales and now we have soybean bales and regular straw, we have an absolute boatload of straw here. Alright, what is the control going to be to release the bales? I haven't used this in a couple of episodes here. Start auto load. Unload bales. Why? I should have gone with the basic answer. Would have been the correct answer. Alright, so let's jump out here. The straw in here is now full. So that is good news. We can send a load of slurry. Yep, there's that collision on the right side of that barn door. We can send some slurry up to the BGA today and keep our BGA runs going. Have to check and see if we have enough slurry in the water buffalo pen, since I just blocked access to the dairy slurry. Debated putting in a silo extension over there. Maybe that's something we look at later today and see if we can get that done. But for now, jump into the Super Duty. Let's go get the clothes loaded up and take those. I don't even know where we're selling them yet. Didn't look at the location, just looked and saw the sale price was good. So let's see. Driving in our grass just a little bit. Get her tucked in here. Alright. Thinking right about there. Should be adequate. Let's see about getting these pallets unloaded. Alright, so we're not quite far enough back, but that's alright. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Alright, so now we just got to get the rest of them unloaded here. Squeezing in between all the equipment back here. And reload. I feel like there's a setting for Universal Auto Load where you can put it by a trigger and it will just grab stuff as it comes out. I have to look that up and see if I can figure that out instead of going back and forth. So let's pull out here. I do want to repack, get this neatened up a little bit. We don't have pallets sort of cattywampus on there. Yep, still getting that way. No big deal. Alright, so where are we headed with the clothes today, guys? We're headed to Applebees. Can't tell you why Applebees wants our clothes. Maybe they're selling Applebees T-shirts. You know, TGI Friday appetizer T-shirts. That's what we got made. Didn't know they were. But the best price is supposed to be $10,964. We're at $11,247, guys. We're making almost an extra $4.5 grand on these shirts. So that is good news for us. I did take a quick look in the sale this morning, and I think there's a thing or two in there we might want to pick up. I think there's some silage additive, just some farm supplies, no real equipment. But if we're going to be up at the shop with the truck, and as usual, having money burning a hole in our pocket, may as well spend some of it. So when we get back from our selling run, I'm going to jump into, I guess it'd probably be the Versatile at this stage, and grab our tedder, and I'm just going to manually ted 50% of that field. Then I'm going to send the baler out there and just have it bale the field. And, you know, some of the grass and the hay will get mixed up, and some bales might be grass and some bales might be hay. But I think it's not really going to matter. We just need hay to put into the TMR mixer so we can get some TMR produced. So as long as we're getting roughly 50% hay and 50% grass, we'll be in good shape. But I've never done it that way where we just sort of go out and ted half the field and then just send the baler out, set it loose, and you know, see what happens. So that'll be an interesting little experiment. I think the big thing is just going to be making sure that the baler, oh, hard on the brakes. Whew. Did not allow enough time to stop there, guys. I think the big thing is just making sure that the baler works the field the same direction that we cut it, so it's working along the rows that are tedded instead of across, because then every time it crosses, it'll just switch between hay and grass depending on which is in greater quantity in the bale it's currently making. Getting up to Applebees. Let's throw some straps off. Go ahead through here. Should be about $168,000. 168,743, guys. That is a huge sale. Took us several years to get into wool and have enough sheep to make it worthwhile, but that was a big boost to the finances. So excited for that. Excuse me, Mr. Rooster. We're just going to park here for a second in your parking lot. Jump into the sale real quick. Check and see what we have. I do feel like, where was... There's the wrap. Okay, so it's coming up here. The silage additive, here we go. We'll get that purchased. Now, guys, the Colossus forage harvester would be... I mean, this thing is a beast. We could make silage out of corn in no time. We could put a mower header on there. We could put a forage wagon behind it. It could be an absolute workhorse for us, but $180,000 just a little rich for my blood at this point. I have not owned the, what is it called, the Rogator sprayer from Fendt since the Plains and Prairies DLC came out. I think that this thing will be super cool to run. Not a huge capacity, 4,164 liters. Seems like it should be probably double or even triple that, but you know, what do I know? Here's the big Roy from Versatile. This thing is hilarious. Don't know that we quite have fields big enough for that yet, but maybe someday we will. So other than that, I think that's going to be about it for today. There's not a lot. I did look at the C750. Maybe we pick that up, guys. I was debating using this to run like the wool and stuff around when I don't want to use a full drop deck because we only have, say, 4 to 6 pallets. I don't know. I'd want the long chassis. Hitch class 8. Okay, fair enough. Don't know really what we're talking about there yet. Rear low hitch, yes. Mud protectors. Yep, exhaust. Don't really need to pay any extra for exhaust. Is there a standard option that doesn't cost me anything? There we go, standard. Toolbox, not worth $300 to me. Do like slightly darker glass. Fenders, yes. Top kick logo, yes. Visor. The top kick logo, $10 doesn't bother me. We have some bumper options here. Sort of like bumper 2. I do like the black mirrors. Don't know what the difference in the interior is. I guess it's like a brown tan versus a gray maybe. 3-point on the front. That is an interesting thing I did not know that you could have. Check the color real quick. Get the design color the same. Front grille. Get the bumpers dark. Rims dark. Alright, that's a pretty sweet looking truck for $9,500. Let's see. And as always, lettering should always be in orange. Back only. Okay, cool. I mean, 9,500 bucks. We got the trailer here. You know, let's run it. Now let's jump out here, and we just got to figure out what deck we want to put on it. I think there's just a long and a short. Yeah, so we would definitely want the flat deck on this. Beacon lights, yes. Steel tread, I guess that's diamond plate. Yep. Just make sure it's nice and dark. Okay, cool. Another 3,500 bucks, so 12,000 bucks, 13,000 bucks. We got a new truck and trailer. All right, guys, let's get this stuff loaded up. I guess we could technically, maybe we can't pull the flat deck or the gooseneck with the new C750. All right, so let's get that turned off. Here we go. Let's get in here. Well, that's a nice sounding truck. I'm thinking this would be a nice sort of delivery truck when we don't have huge loads. Like I said, just running the wool and maybe the goat's milk up. Drive's nice too, I'll tell you that much. Okay, nice. I mean, that's going to be a load for the Super Duty, but hey, we're here for it. Just got to get underneath the ramps. Alright, all strapped down. It's a nice looking truck. Got our extra pallet of silage additive. So cool. Alright, well, I'll see you guys back at the farm. Made it back to the farm, guys, and I gotta tell you, this didn't pull great. I feel like we're slightly off center, wanted to tip a lot, but we got back. Probably should be pulling the Super Duty on the trailer and the new C750 pulling, but I don't think it has a fifth wheel hitch. So, sort of is what it is, but we made it work, we got it back, so not a big deal. Let's get unloaded here, and then let's go work on our hay for the animals. So, pop those straps, bump those ramps. Alright, so first and foremost, we'll get the new truck off the ramps, or off the trailer. It's a nice looking truck. Alright, very good. I think we'll leave it right here for now. Just curious. Yeah. I got the beacons, got the lights. Nice turn signals. Not bad for a used truck, guys. Alright, cool. I'm pleased. Okay, last thing. We got to run up here. Grab our pallet of silage additive. Let's just toss that on the rack with the rest of the farm supplies. All good to go there. So let's head over to the Versatile. And I think we got to leave the Pro Bale here. I don't think we want to be running around the field with it on. So we'll just lower that and drop it. Excellent. Our tedder should be over here in our open storage. Got some eggs to pick up. Maybe we got some work for the new truck to do. That would be good. Can also, I guess, use that truck to pull some bales around to like get straw and stuff for the cows. So could have a bunch of uses on the farm here. So I'll throw this on a quick time lapse because, like I said, I'm just gonna do like half the field. Just want to get enough hay that we can get back to making TMR. So let's see. I'm going to pull up the map and just sort of try to figure out where halfway would be. So I think it's going to be, you know, this row starting right about here. All right, well, I'm going to get this all tedded up, throw this on a time lapse for you guys, and I'll see you when I'm done. That's a wrap on the tedding, guys. Just a real quick loop around the field, get some of that knocked out. I think we go grab the baler now. I'm hoping that the windrower on the baler will be adequate to pull those rows back in and not miss too much. If we have to do a little cleanup, we can. So let's see what's going on here. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I got bumped out of the game window there. Not sure what happened. Alright, so swinging back through. Let's get the tedder parked back in its spot. I'm not generally a fan of these big open sheds. I never feel like I can really effectively use the space, but this one hasn't been too bad. I feel like in general it's been good, but I've been trying hard to keep it well organized and have spots for things. Oh, well, I guess the Magnum's hooked up to the baler already, so I guess we'll just be using that. So let's get the Versatile tucked back in. Jump on out, head over to the Magnum. Got plenty of silage additive, even though we just bought some, making sure. So let's go ahead and I think we can just set this guy up. We should be able to just jump into course play, grab the mowing. Which field is this? I can never remember. Field 49. Yeah, I think he's still on that course from actually doing the mowing. But let's go ahead and start him at the first waypoint. Let's see where he heads to. Oh, that's not a good choice. Okay, good. Got swung back around. I'm going to say you're going to hit stuff with those. The wings on the windrower. Yeah, I think the windrower should be plenty wide to capture all of the hay. I don't think we're going to lose anything. So that is good news. Yeah. That's working well. Okay, we're just going to let him work. Get out of his way. So let's run and check on the unit. I do want to do one thing. Make sure he's working at full speed there. Alright, he's off and running. Let's go check on our sheep. And I know we have some eggs. So we'll get the top kick. It'll be easier to say than C750. And go pick up some supplies and see where we want to take stuff. So we have... I don't think this is even going to be worth picking up, guys. What do we have here? 400 kilograms, 691 liters, so not quite full. And then that one's obviously just a quarter, 64 liters. So yeah, that's not doing us much good. Food, we are at 51,000 liters out of 130. And just to compare... Let's see. Yeah, hay is 100%, grass is 80%. So guys, if you're checking out the Homestead Challenge series, I was talking about this in some of the earlier episodes, that the sheep barn I have on that playthrough, which is on New Frontier, grass does 100%, which is just great news. But here we have to feed them hay, so we're going to need to use some of those bales to get where we need to be. So let's get the gate closed. We'll run back and grab the top kick. Let's pick up the eggs and get those organized. Now, I need to get this guy set up. So So we'll pull over here, and then I'm going to do a couple quick changes. This thing drives pretty nice, too. I like it. It feels substantial. Feels like a big truck. Doesn't feel like a pickup truck. Okay, so what we want to get changed here, let's jump into the menu real quick. We only want to pick up full pallets, which I always have to remember how to do here. Okay, let's see. Material type all, no. Speed generate. Loading filter any. So if we hit O, full only. So now if I pull up here and let's get going here. Why are we not picking anything up? That's an interesting situation. I wonder, you know, I didn't even look. Does this have... Okay, so look at that. It's just got a teeny tiny little area for auto load. So beacon lights, we need to make a change here, guys. Otherwise, it doesn't take to change the size of the area. So we'll change the secondary color. We'll make it match the truck. Okay, so now we can come in here and, man, this is going to be quite the little experience here. This is a teeny tiny loading area, guys. But we can get it adjusted. Quick pro tip, if you hold Alt, it'll move both sides the same distance. So if I grab the left side and I hold Alt, see the line connects it, it means it's moving the right side out as well to keep it even and parallel. So I think we want to go up to about that height. I'm hoping that's going to be 2 pallets worth of height. So let's go ahead and customize. Working through stuff on the fly here. Let's get that reattached. Do we have... Okay, so container type all, filter type it resets. So let's go back to full only, put that away, boom. And then the one thing, guys, I always like to go with the layered mode, which is... There we go. I like my loads nice and flat. Don't want them stacked up high. So here we are taking our first load with the top kick. Very, very cool. And what I might actually do, we might cheat a little bit. The thing's sort of quick. Not even using full acceleration here. Let's grab some eggs, or let's deliver the eggs. And then let's go back and let's steal a couple of hay bales and go give those to the sheep to make sure they're fed. Oh yeah, see how easy this is to get pulled in here? Yeah, and it auto loads right into this cold storage. Yeah, this was a really, really good addition to the farm. So I'm going to grab a couple of hay bales here. I assume this stack will also be hay. And I think we can get 2 more. What do we think? Do these look like hay or do these turn to grass? I think these are still hay. Yeah, going around the outside, probably still hay. Let's see. We'll find out. All hay. Great. Now the question is, I see the difference in color. This one right up here, that's hay. And oh, there's a grass in the middle. We got a grass sandwich, guys. You see that? All right, so the plan is working. We are getting grass and hay bales off this field, which was the goal. So we have 58,000 liters of hay. That's going to be a great way to top off our sheep pen. Yeah, we're cruising at 44 miles an hour. This little truck does well. This is just the size I wanted for the farm. I don't have to pull the trailer around. That's 8 bales. I mean, that's a nice size flat deck. Yeah, got a nice sounding engine brake. I like it. I think it was a good purchase. Oh, so we've left the course. Now, guys, you see, Courseplay came to Mod Hub recently, and so all the Courseplay settings have been redone. So we have the alerts up on the screen. I have actually, and I'll post it up on the screen right now, I have a couple of videos, Courseplay Basics, and some advanced Courseplay for harvesting stuff. If you are unfamiliar with Courseplay or just getting into it because of the Mod Hub release, by all means, come check it out. I'll get those videos linked above. But for right now, we'll just get this guy back on track. Got tangled up in a couple of bales. I was trying to pick up the bales, so I knew it was going to be a problem. Just got excited about our new top kick and needed to get this done first. So let's get the course turned off. Let's get the window closed. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Everything going to plan now. You get caught on those bales too. I can try to snag them. There we go. They're out of the way. Once we get these loaded in for the sheep, I'll grab the Volvo and the flat deck and go pick up all the extra. Just excited to use our new truck, get our sheep fed, keep things moving. So $125,000 in the bank. Not doing a lot for us right now. Oh, there's our silage pallet. Huh. That's a weird one. Okay. Well, let's let the hay disappear. Then we'll pick up our silage pallet, and we'll take that back over here and drop it off in the barn at some point. That's weird. Not sure why there's one in here, but oh well. All right. So heading back. Jump out and close our gate. Alright, so we need, $125,000, back to the conversation. Doesn't do a lot for us at this stage. We need to be making big purchases, and we've discussed, fields on this map. We're talking $500,000 easy, so we need to keep it going. We do have an approximate $50,000 loan payment every month between principal and interest. So it is good to have that money in there to keep us in the positive on the bank account, but it is going to be short-lived. I mean, we won't make it through summer with that much money, which is why we keep putting new productions in. Now, guys, look at all this. I'll show you guys real quick while we're here. We have a metric boatload of hay. That's hay, and I'm sorry, not hay. It's all straw. It's soybean straw, regular straw, corn stalk straw, all of those things. So much straw that we have to deal with. We may eventually end up selling it. I'd like to find some sort of way to make some money on it. I don't know what we can do with it besides sell it, use it for bedding it in TMR. But if there was some sort of, maybe there's a biogas treatment plant or biogas heating plant that burns straw. It seems like straw would be a bad fuel source. It would burn very, very quickly. So we're getting a nice mix of hay and grass going, guys. Our plan has come together well. We can just get the rest of these off from around the perimeter. We should be good to go for the rest of the baling. It shouldn't get caught up on anything. Always important to get your headland bales off, because the tractors they just drive into them, guys. They're not very smart. The workers don't know to avoid them. I keep hoping, and I'll show you guys, remember a long time ago, was it year one? I mean, we put some trees in, and here they are. I mean, I think they've grown a little bit, but we're waiting for a whole forest to pop up so we can cut a whole bunch of trees down. I think I planted 200 or more trees total over here around the water buffalo pen. Just a lot of trees that were put in. So hopefully at some point we can, you do some forestry work, or at least some productions, some sawmill productions, maybe even do some furniture or something else. But we planted that as sort of a long-term investment. Now, man, I'll tell you, we are missing a lot of spots here, guys. That is a lot of stuff. I may have to come back off camera and clean that up, because that is certainly more of a mess than I was hoping for. So let's get to the field edge, and we got a couple more rows of hay to be done. Let's take those, let's unload these. So first we got to get the straps on. Then we got to hit them with an unload. All right, now coming in here, what do we want? Okay, we want all types. And it's not, oh, what's the other setting? Material type K. All right, grass, we want hay only. So I'm just pulling the hay out of this stack, which is a really, really helpful tool. We're going to run this bunch of hay, all 130,000 liters of it, over to the TMR mixer and get the TMR started for the cows. So we got to get angled up here. This is a huge trailer to get squared up in here. Okay, so far so good. Okay, excellent. So let's jump in, check our TMR mixer, see what we have going on here. Okay, we are good to go. We're producing 130,000 liters of hay, 66,000 liters of silage, 113 liters of straw. I mean, straw we're using the least of. Hay and silage are a 1-to-1, so we're going to need to get more silage over here. But if we look at our fermenting silo, I already have 95,000 liters of silage over here, so we are good to go. And then plus we're going to have all that grass coming in. Corn silage, I guess there's chaff, clover, and alfalfa. So we could, you know, that Colossus harvester, we could plant just a absolute, just acres and acres and acres of corn and chaff some of it to make silage, and then we could do grass as 100% hay. So maybe we did talk about making that whole far field corn. Maybe we turn our original cornfield into a chaff field in doing that. So let me run over here. Let's swap back to our tipper. I'm going to go leave the tilt deck at the field edge. Ooh, it's tight back here. So we can get the rest of those bales up. I think the remainder of the hay we need to keep in storage for the sheep, because they're going to need food. They were also part of the suffering, you know, this winter when there was no food, was the sheep were out as well. So want to make sure we have plenty there. Dump that. Let's get the tipper. Let's go load silage into it. Run the silage over to the TMR mixer to make sure we're good to go there. And then I think we'll send the Volvo on a run to the BGA full of slurry. And that will be about it for April, guys. Just a lot done today, a lot of running around. Excited that we got that new truck. I think that's going to be such a good size for the farm, because we have so many tight areas, whether it's on the farmyard or like going over to, you know, some of our productions tend to be on the small side. We have hay in here. That's interesting. Okay, we'll get silage put in. That is one thing I almost forgot. I need to check. I think we're done at the Jack Daniel's whiskey facility. We are. There's no more corn, so we need to, at a minimum, I'm going to turn that production off. I'm going to have to go get the whiskey, because we don't want to lease that overnight any more than we already have to. So, can we make this corner? Not quite. It's close, but not quite. But you guys, some of you saw 75,000 liters of whiskey. That is going to equate to a lot of money when the time comes. So maybe we won't get the BGA run in this episode. Maybe we'll just grab the tilt deck. I'll dump the bales into the fermenting silo, and then we'll go pick up the whiskey, and we'll call it at that point. And I can send him to the BGA on his own later. Ooh, nice and snug. Okay. 72,000 liters going in. All right, so now we should have a good mix. 136,000 liters of silage, 129,000 liters of hay. So yeah, we're going to make well over 250,000 liters of TMR, probably closer to 300,000 25,000 liters, which I know that sounds like a lot, guys, but our cows are going through a lot, which is great. We're producing a lot of milk. We're getting good productions out of it, but we are a full production cattle farm here, in addition to all of our other goals and in trying to get all the other things done that we want. So let's get backed up here. Let's go pick up the whiskey, and that will be enough for April. And we get this guy swung in without hitting that post. We can, like a pro. Alright, let's grab some whiskey, and that will be it. We just got to get the grass off the step deck, or off the tilt deck. I do like our tilt deck on this playthrough. It's such a great trailer. Love the size, love the functionality. Got those last couple of bales. Get the silage fermenter loaded up. Got them all. So, off to the Jack Daniels facility so we can pick up our whiskey, and then we can end the lease over there. You guys remember a couple episodes ago, we calculated out, we had like $12,000 a month in leasing and production expenses. So if we can manage those and not lease any of our productions any longer than is absolutely necessary, definitely going to help us out in the long term on the expense side. We are at a point where I feel like we're making pretty good headway financially. We are making a decent amount of money. We're also having to spend a decent amount of money to keep things moving. And we knew coming into the 555 challenge that this was going to be a big farm operation. I mean, this is going to end up being an absolutely massive farm when we're done. 500 acres. We have to own 5 productions, but guys, I think that's going to come and go very easily. I don't think that's going to be even a small challenge in order to get the amount of money we're going to need to do this. Man, this is... If we weren't picking up 75,000 liters of whiskey, I would not have brought this truck and this trailer, but this is the only option we have to even get close to that much stuff. Just a little bit of gentle scraping on the outside. Okay, here we go. And are we set to storing? That is the big question. We are. So it should be popping out for us. So I will get the rest of this collected. I will get the lease ended on the Jack Daniels facility so we're not paying for that overnight. Get the rest of the grass and the hay out of that field. Do a little bit of touch-up. Make sure we get a BGA run in today to keep that going and get the animals fed. So a lot more to do, but a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further, and channel members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's all for today, but I'll see you in the next one.